Hello and welcome to the Daily Royal. My name is Shelby and I have been a royal watcher for the past 10 years. In this podcast, I talk about the daily events of 7 of the European monarchies. So I talk about Belgium, the UK, Denmark, the Netherlands, Norway, Spain, and Sweden. I upload Monday through Friday with occasional bonus episodes here and there. Today we are going to be talking about the events from Monday, December 13th of 2021. So remember in yesterday's episode when I was like, yeah, I think today's going to be kind of busy? It was not. However, I'm still going to record an episode. I will say though, 90% of this episode is Spanish royal family based, because they were the only ones that had like actual events today. We got a new photo from the Swedish royal family, so we'll talk about that too. But like, this is just going to be a Spanish royal family episode because they had 4 events. So, and in theory, you know, I could certainly push off and talk about them in a episode that I was not going to record tomorrow, or I could wait until Wednesday. But at that point, if I wait until Wednesday, we're going to be talking about like 8 events from the Spanish royal family. So I'm just choosing to talk about them all now, because that's easier and obviously this episode is very Spanish focused, but you saw that from the title. While I'm not sure exactly what I'm titling this, I do know it will definitely be like, warning, this is all about the Spanish royal family. Because otherwise it'll still be that in a few days, but then we may have some other things to compete with it. We may not. In all reality, the calendars are looking sparse. Pretty much everything in the Danish royal family canceled. Never have any idea with the Belgian royal family or with the British royal family. Belgian royal family doesn't have an event on the calendar till the 22nd, which at that point I will be on podcast vacation. But that doesn't mean there won't be pop-up events for the Belgian royal family or the British royal family. Dutch royal family, nothing till the middle of January. It's just a weird week. And we have these occasionally, August is certainly like this. July is certainly like this. This is why I pretty much take some of December off. Because there's just obviously not a lot going on at the holidays. So anyway, the way we're going to do this is going to be a super casual episode. I'm obviously not going to play an introduction to the Spanish royal family section because it is the only section, really. Again, we'll talk about the Swedish photo at the end, but like, it's a photo. There isn't much I can say about it. It's a cute photo, but anyway, so we're just gonna live with it. I'm going to record, I'm going to post this, it's going to be up super early, I'm going to start working on some new stickers for Shop the Daily Royal. Like, that's the plan. So let's jump in with the events in Spain. I first want to express my great sadness that the Princess of Asturias and Girona was not at the board meeting for the foundation of the Princess of Girona. Listen, I'm kind of grappling with myself on this because I only wanted to go to see her, right? Like, if she wasn't at this, the chances of seeing her over her winter break are basically nil now, which is fine. She is a child and certainly deserves that privacy. But it was just like a little sad. Because, like, this was kind of the chance to see her, for sure. Like, there will be a Christmas card, and that will be lovely. That should come out sometime this week, in all honesty. But, like, that's it, and that's okay. It's just, I had gotten so used to seeing her over the early part of 2021, and through the summer and things like that, that it's like, oh, okay, cool, no problem. But again, she is a child. It is not a critique of her because she is 16 years old. It is fine if she doesn't want to make an appearance 3 days after her semester ends. That is fine. It is not a judgment or anything like that. It was just like, oh, okay, well, that is disappointing. But listen, it is Christmas card season, so we'll see her in that soonish, hopefully. So that is my sad take of the day. However, King Felipe was there, who, while is not honorary president of the foundation anymore because his daughter is, does still serve kind of as her representative, essentially, because obviously, again, she is a child. And so he attended the board meeting for the Princess of Girona Foundation, which was basically just like the annual board meeting where they discuss kind of the next year of action as well as the strategic plan for the coming, I think it's like 4 years now, so it was like a 5-year plan that started in 2020. So now we are at 4 years of the strategic plan to broaden the scope of the foundation, and to really consolidate it. So the foundation is 12 years old now. So it's still a pretty young organization. And it is not as widely, and its goal is not to be as international as the Princess of Asturias Awards, but it wanted to be something similar, and it's not at that caliber. Not that it can't ever be, but it's not there yet. And so that's part of the mission. And also, there's a lot of governing complications in that I won't get into. But anyway, that was the board meeting that King Felipe attended that I was so confident that we would see Leonor at. Although last night, I think after recording, I saw a couple of articles saying that she probably wouldn't be there. So, I started to doubt my confidence yesterday. And then, obviously, today it was confirmed that she was not there. But, I was so confident. And I was very wrong. That's okay. So, that was King Felipe's first event. He had a grand total of 4 himself, and Queen Letizia also had an event. So his next 2 I've kind of combined together because they are very similar. So he held meetings with the new president of the Constitutional Court in Spain. This is the highest court that determines constitutionality of different laws and things like that throughout the country. And they run on a 15-year term, I think. Or maybe it's a 9-year term? It must be a 9-year term because the ones who were appointed in 2023 are up for election next year. So anyway, sorry, I got very distracted by that. But these are judges who have 15 years of experience. That's where my 15 years is coming from, in constitutional law. And so they just went through new cycles of judges. So a new president was appointed. The presidents serve for 3 years, and then are replaced on the Constitutional Court. So he met with the new president, and then also, kind of in that same vein, he met with the new, Inspector General, Public Advocate, Ombudsman, whatever you know it as. I think I recognize it the most as Inspector General. That is the, person who oversees the government choices on behalf of the people. So he has also just been appointed, so Felipe met with him as well. Just to mark their new terms. It was very strange for me. So I have been following the Spanish royal family for 2.5 years. So I've talked about this. My interest started like growing again with them, and then it kind of grew because I was so sick of listening to podcasts about royals that like literally only had to do with the British royals, and even more so were focused on the non-events, and rather just like the media surrounding the British royal family and all the drama, and like I was out. I didn't want a part of it. So I created my own that would talk about the Spanish royals and others. And here we are, almost 2 years later, which is kind of crazy. So anyway, it was very strange to see the president of the Constitutional Court not be the person I expected, but it was fine. It was just weird. I was like, oh, okay, what happened to the man? But his term ended, so it's fine. So that is what Felipe was doing in the afternoon, and then in the evening, this one is takes a little more of a sad note. He attended the wake of famed tennis legend, hold on, I just want to make sure I get his name right, because obviously that would be so upsetting if I didn't. I think it is... Yes, Manola Santana, who won a gold medal at the 1968 Olympic Games, has won Wimbledon, the U.S. Open, Grand Slams, kind of every time. It's just kind of like the famed tennis legend before Rafa. This is like... conjecture from articles that I have read, but Manola Santana was very close with King Juan Carlos, who is Felipe's father, and they played tennis together, and he is the one who supposedly, this is again a story, I don't know how true it is, he supposedly taught King Felipe and his sisters how to hold a tennis racket, because they grew up in a palace that has a tennis court, which is fun. I wish I had a tennis court. No, I actually really don't. But they were taught by tennis legend. So he attended that wake, which was held at the Caja Mágica, which literally translates to magic box, but it's basically the tennis arena. So it was held at Center Court there to obviously honor his tennis legacy in Spanish sport. So that was really lovely. They also made a social media post about his passing on Saturday when he did pass, where they shared like a photo of King Felipe and Queen Letizia with Manola Santana, and just honored him that way. So that's really lovely, and very, just a little bit of a sadder note. Someone that obviously Felipe has known like his entire life. Passing is just sad in general. And yeah, so that was King Felipe's day. It was a very busy day. He also has some things going on tomorrow, and then they have one event still on Wednesday, and then it's quiet from them, supposedly. So that is what was going on for King Felipe. Also today, Queen Letizia was in Senegal to open a new Cervantes Institute. So a Cervantes Institute, I've talked about this, but I will repeat again, is a center for learning mostly Spanish language, but also Spanish culture. So you can use their online resources, you can visit the actual institutes to learn. So this one was created because in Senegal, they are experiencing like a high interest in learning Spanish. It is just a very useful language to know. And so that was, it's a site that is going to be dedicated for people to go and learn Spanish language and culture, and is lovely. And typically the Spanish royal family will go to these openings. They have gone to one in Chicago. They went to one the last time they were in Stockholm prior to their state visit. Well, I guess that's not true. shortly after their marriage, they traveled to Stockholm to open a Cervantes Institute, and then they were there for Crown Princess Victoria's wedding in 2010, and then they were just there. They don't have a long history of, like, traveling to Stockholm. So, but, I mean, like, right after they got married, they were in, I think, Prague opening one. Like, they've just been kind of everywhere. And so now Queen Letizia does attend pretty often when there's a new Cervantes Institute opening, and I assume that Leonor will start doing it when she is of age and kind of into her official role, just like her father did before her. So that is a bit about what was going on for her. She also met with the President and First Lady of Senegal. They hosted her for lunch, and then presumably has traveled back to Madrid now after arriving late last night. So that is the whole shebang in Spain. I do kind of love that I got to, like, genuinely dive in on all the details because, again, I'm talking about one royal household. But it was just a pretty busy day for them. Like I said, they are pretty much kind of the only ones officially running the show this week in terms of calendars. I do kind of still anticipate or hope for some pop-ups. If there aren't any pop-up events next year, my vacation might be 3 weeks long. We'll see. But anyway, that is what was going on in Spain. So now let's talk about the lovely new photo we got from the Swedish royal family. So this morning they shared a new photo of Princess Estelle and Prince Oscar on the occasion of St. Lucia Day, which is celebrating the feast of St. Lucia. This used to happen on like the shortest day of the year, but now I don't know if it has a set day, because the shortest day of the year is not for like another week or so. But anyway, it was very cute. Estelle had the basket of food, and Oscar was just dressed up. This is how this goes because St. Lucia was a woman, so the girls get to dress up in really cute outfits, and sometimes they have candles kind of on their head, which is what St. Lucia wore to feed the masses, because then she could hold more food if she didn't have to hold a candle. So she wore it around her head. And then the boys dress up as silly things. So Oscar kind of looked like he was in a Santa costume. There was a photo released today. I don't know by who, but I saw of Prince Daniel when he was a child dressed up as a gingerbread man for St. Lucia Day. It's just a really cute holiday tradition in Sweden and I think in Scandinavia as a whole. But yeah, so that is what was going on. Not a whole lot, obviously, but a little bit. So I will be back again. Reminder, I'm doing every other day this week, so I will have another episode up on Thursday, and then the final episode, regular episode of 2021. Wow. We've gone through the whole year, and sometimes I still think it's 2020. Of 2021 will go up on Saturday, and then I will be back on January 1st for a special like speech episode, and so on. So with that, I'm going to end this episode, and I will talk to you all in a couple of days. Have a good one.